sometimes so anti-labor. It was set up to help labor, to be pro-labor. Well, guess what? That's why one of the most significant things we've done, Kamala and I, is appointing a National Labor Relations Board that actually believes in unions and believes in recognizing the right. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Remember, we have short memories. I'm all for forgiveness. I'm not for this. Trump appointed union busters on that board. No, that's a fact. But it's real. It affects people's lives. We're going to let that son of a gun do that again? Folks, we made a lot of progress, and Kamala and I are going to build on that progress, and she's going to build on it. I'll be on the sidelines, but I'll do everything I can to help. But look, I'm not joking when I say, this is not a joke. When I said this when I was running in 2020, a lot of people didn't believe me. You did, but didn't believe me. It's all at risk because of Donald Trump, literally. With a stroke of the pen, he can get rid of a lot of this. And do you think this guy gives a damn about your pensions? No, I'm serious. Do you think he loses even an instant of sleep over it? Do you think he cares about all the work you do every day and how hard it is? Do you think he cares about good-paying jobs for hard-working people who built this economy? Hell. He regards picket lines. He'd rather cross one than walk one. But I have no problem walking the picket line. Never have, neither, nor does Kamala. We'll always walk alongside you. Union workers built this country. And again, that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. These are facts. These are not campaign slogans. Let me close with this. 5 years ago, I began my campaign for president right here in Pittsburgh. I said one of the reasons I was running was to rebuild the backbone and spine of America, the middle class and working class folks. Not a joke. Think about it. Think about it. Well, 5 years later, we've done just that. I'm back in Pittsburgh on Labor Day again with a simple message. As we look at this election, I spent my whole career believing in unions. I'm not joking when I say that. I'm honored to be considered the most pro-union president ever. Yeah. Yep. By the way, remember all the talk, Biden got elected and he's going to do a planned economy, we're going to collapse and there's going to be all this caving in. Interest rates are going to go through the ceiling. Come on, man. I'm here to tell you, it's about increasing the strength of your unions, what this is all about. If you care about hard-working people, just give them a fair shot. Everyone in America deserves a fair shot. No, Gary, a fair shot. If you care about the dignity of work, you care about the dignity of work, and I mean it matters, the dignity of work, the way you're treated, the decency. Yeah. I remember when my great-grandfather was only the second Catholic elected statewide to the state Senate here in Pennsylvania. And I remember they talked about when they're running against him in 1906, they said, guess what? They said, he's a Molly Maguire. You know what a Molly Maguire was? Well, those of you who don't, a Molly Maguire, back in the old days, when we Irish and the Catholics came, and then the Poles and others that were Catholic, when they came to the United States of America in the beginning of the 1840s, and late 1840s, they made their way down into Pennsylvania, a lot of them, and there's a tier in the coal mines. Those guys who got there last ended up being the last people in the coal mines. But a lot of the English owned the coal mines. And what they did was they'd really beat the hell out of the mostly Catholic population that was in the mines. Not a joke, not a joke. But there was a group that called the Molly Maguires. And the Molly Maguires, if they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they'd literally kill him. Not a joke. And they'd bring his body up and put him on the doorstep of his family. kind of crude. But I got to admit, they accused my great-grandfather of being a model where he wasn't. But we were so damn disappointed. You know, that's a joke. That's a joke. Look, it's about the dignity of work. It's about how you're treated. And when I met with the IBW, when I started off this last campaign first, I said, there's two things I'm asking of me. And I said, two things I'm asking of you. One, you got to open up your unions to more women. Not a joke. And two, to more minorities. You've done both that. And guess what? Instead of having support of 30% of the American leaders, now we're 65% of the American leaders support the American union movement. It really is all about the dignity of work. Then there's only, if you care about the dignity of work, there's only one person you have a rational choice with this time. And that's Kamala Harris. Not a... Let me tell you about this woman. I know her. I trust her. Not a joke. I trust her. Number two, the first decision I made, the nominee in 2020, was selecting her as my vice president. And by the way, it was the single best decision I made as President of the United States of America. I was watching something sent to me when they asked Barack. They said Barack picked me as vice president because he knew I could be president. Well, I know she'll be a good president. I've watched her when all the experts, foreign and domestic policy, would give us advice. Then we'd sit alone in a room, and she has a backbone like a ramrod. And she has the moral compass of a saint. This woman knows what she's doing. Folks, I promise you, if you elect Kamala Harris as president, it'll be the best decision you will have ever made. And Kamala believes as I do. The unions are the spine of this economy. She'll be a historic pro-union president. So, folks, we got one more job to do together. Let me ask you. Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to win? Yeah! Are you ready to elect Kamala Harris our next president of the United States of America? And in the process, are you ready to make Donald Trump a loser again? Never been more optimistic about America. We have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America. There's nothing, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, there's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing. When we do it together. And that means elect my friend, our great Vice President, President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
It is good to be in the House of Labor. And it is good to be back at IBEW Local 5. And can we please give it up again for our President, Joe Biden. Now, I don't have to tell the brothers and sisters of labor that you really get to know somebody when you're in the middle of a fight. When times are hard, when the forces are mighty, when people don't believe something can get done and they have 1,000 excuses for why it can't get done. And I have spent more time with this extraordinary human being when the cameras were not in the room, when the stakes were high, when the heat was intense. And Joe Biden has always stood with the workers of America and labor unions of America. Always. Always. I've been with him when he'll bring folks into the Oval Office. And you know how Joe can get sometimes. He doesn't spare words. It's good that sometimes the cameras are not in the room when he has those conversations. Because the thing about the Joe Biden I know, and I know you know, because he has been a friend of labor for so long, for his whole life. Joe Biden can be quite impatient. And that's a good thing for that kind of leader. Quite impatient. And I say to all of the friends here, the press that's in the room, history will show what we here know. Joe Biden has been one of the most transformative presidents in the United States that we have ever witnessed. And it comes from his heart. And you know, Joe and I talk a lot about the fact that we are so proud to be the most pro-union administration in America's history. And thanks to you. And as we know, Joe's still got a lot of work to do, so let's also understand that. So I want to thank all the incredible leaders who are here today, including the Governor Shapiro, Lieutenant Governor Davis, Senator Casey, who we will re-elect this November, Mayor Gainey, President Schuller, President Cooper, all the leaders of labor who are here, all the union members who are here. So I'll just get right to a few points. I love Labor Day. I love celebrating Labor Day. And Pittsburgh, of course, is a cradle of the American labor movement. It is the birthplace of the AFL, headquarters of the steelworkers, home to Firefighters Local 1, and of course the historic IBEW Local 5. For more than 150 years, the brothers and sisters of labor have helped lead the fight for fair pay, better benefits, and safe working conditions. And every person in our nation has benefited from that work. You know, everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week.